match day -1 ahead of the game between Hilal from Sudan and MC Alger from Algeria in the CAF Champions League 2025-26 season. My name is Asha Kungisha and I will be the moderator for this press conference. Coach, welcome to this press conference. Rhulani, Mokwena, legend of African football. How are you feeling today after your arrival in Kigali?
Assalamu alaikum. No, we are quietly confident about our chances, and also excited to be in the group stages for the first time. The club is in the group stages back to back, and so we are looking forward to another good run in the Champions League, and very, very, very excited to be here.
Kipre, bienvenue.
Merci beaucoup.
Quelle est l'importance pour le match demain?
L'importance pour le match de demain, c'est de bien rentrer dans la compétition en étant concentré, en donnant le mieux de nous-mêmes pour gagner le match. Inch'Allah.
Inshallah.
Questions? Your name, your media house, and who you're asking the question to.
My name is Peter Tamasa from the New Times Rwanda. Coach, I don't know if it is your first time to be in Kigali. How do you see the country? The hospitality of Rwanda and the question to the match, it is the group stages. You played a lot of big competitions. How do you see the level of African football in terms of clubs?
No, it's actually my second time in Rwanda. We were here before with my previous club in the Champions League, and we had a very good experience. Now, when you get here, you understand why it's the cleanest country in Africa, and maybe one of the cleanest in the world. Very serene, incredible feeling from a geographic, natural type of feeling. A lot of trees, high in the altitude, so you understand you have a few complications, but that's absolutely normal. And the people are extremely kind and warm, and they've received us very, very well. We are in a very comfortable hotel. We are very well looked after by the staff, and we are very happy to be here. As I said previously, group stages of the Champions League, very, very difficult. And just last night, I was just going through and studying all the other different groups. I think we are one of the two groups that have 3 league champions in it. And that already is very, very difficult. Only Lupopo were runners-up in their domestic league. But the rest of the 3 teams are league champions. That tells you the level of the teams, the difficulty that you will face with the games. And we have to respect that, but also we are very comfortable and extremely confident in our profile as a club, in our ambition as a staff, as a group of players, and we understand the club that we represent. So we want to do better than we did last season. But of course, that starts with qualifying from the group, and that means also you have to start match by match. And this is a very important match for us. 3 teams in this group were in the quarterfinals and maybe even beyond of the Champions League last season, and only 2 can make it this season, and we want to be one of the 2.
Coach,
Yes.
your fans traveled here to Rwanda to support you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised because this is not the first time. I think even in the qualifications. In the qualifications, I think we were one of the only teams that played our home matches without our fans. And when you understand what the fans mean to us, when you understand the profile of the team, when we play at home with our fans, you can see it's a completely different profile of the team. And they have an incredible influence in terms of the energy that they give to us when they sing, when they chant, and they support the team. And so to qualify for the group stages without our fans in the home stadium was an incredible achievement. And I said this to the players already. But then when you look at the journey too, when we went to Libya, they were there. You know, they traveled and they came and they supported, and we felt their presence. When we went to Cameroon, it was the same story. You know, they came out in their numbers and they supported us, and they gave the players an extra level of confidence to understand that they are not alone, but also to make sure that they understand that they represent them and the country of Algeria, you know. So we appreciate their efforts. We play for them. We try to do everything that we can on the pitch to appease them and to thank them in the way we play, in the way we commit ourselves on the pitch, to thank them for their efforts and for their sacrifices, because surely it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to travel from Algeria to come to Rwanda. And the only way we can thank them for that is to give everything, 150%, every single minute for them, and to appease and appreciate their efforts.
Kipre, vous étiez là l'année passée avec nous, vous avez joué la phase de poule, vous avez eu la qualification pour les quarts finales. Vous avez raté, on peut dire, la qualification pour les demi-finales après 2 grands matchs contre Orlando Pirates, surtout au 5 juillet malgré la défaite. Quelle est l'expérience ou les leçons que vous avez prises lors de cette dernière expérience?
Je peux dire l'année passée, bon, c'était une nouvelle compétition pour moi. J'ai découvert cette compétition avec le Mouloudia. Pour un grand club, en tout cas, ça faisait plaisir de pouvoir jouer à ce niveau. On a manqué, je pense qu'on a manqué d'expérience dans certains aspects. Parce qu'à ce niveau, il faut être beaucoup concentré, il faut avoir beaucoup d'expérience. Et puis avoir un niveau supérieur pour aller de l'avant. Je pense que c'est ça qui nous a manqué l'année passée. Sinon, on n'a pas été dégueulasse, on a été meilleur durant cette phase de groupe et puis en quart de finale. Mais on n'a pas eu la chance de se qualifier contre Orlando. On était rempli de découragement pour ce résultat parce que nos fans croyaient en nous. Ils nous poussaient. En tout cas, ça a été un moment triste durant la saison.
In his answer, Coach Kipre talks about this being a new competition. How does it impact your preparation for this particular game, looking at the fact that these two teams were in the group stages last season?
It's a good question. I think Kipre mentions it. The experience that the group has from last season is going to be very important. Okay, the team has changed slightly. Al Hilal, they've got a new coach. The squad has changed quite a bit also. There's a couple of players who are not part of this team, who were part of this team's journey last season. But they still have some players who were here, Jean-Claude, Abdelrahman. These are players with extensive experience in this competition. Farid, the goalkeeper, you know, even with the national team of Burkina Faso, is one of the goalkeepers that is very, very strong, and he brings also a lot of experience in intercontinental or international type of games. They've got a lot of experience at the back. Mustafa, Diouf, these are players that have international pedigree. Luzolo, who was at Mazembe, and a lot of experience with this type of competition. Ebuela, you know, also very aggressive fullback on the right. A lot of possibilities to defend in 1v1s and be very aggressive in entering the final third with crosses. The midfield is very aggressive with a big physical profile. When you watch how influential they can be, Pogba and Saladin in the midfield, you understand how much we have to work very, very hard in our duels, in the aggression and the physicality in the midfield, especially for the second balls. And then they have Omar, who's a Sudanese, also a great experience with his national team, plays very well in between the pockets, can play as a second striker also, or maybe even as a third midfielder. Ade Sunday, the Nigerian striker, good European experience. A player that has very, very good possibilities to link up play, come short, maybe also make runs behind. And then, of course, you know that on the sides with Koulibaly, you've got a lot of work to do. If Abdelrahman plays on the side, you've got a lot of work to do in 1v1s. Jean-Claude, speed, aggression, 1v1 penetration. So we've done a lot of our work extensively with the staff. We know what to expect. And we know it's going to be a difficult game. It's a difficult game because even last season, between ourselves and Al Hilal, we only took 1 point. We drew one match and we lost the other. And so we want to try to make amends for that and change that situation. We want to try to get more than just 1 point from both these fixtures.
Still, Coach, in the general grand schemes of Group C, it's important for you to start well. But yes, you're thinking about the game tomorrow, but are you also thinking about eventually the 6 games?
Yeah, of course, you've got to think a little bit about the permutations and how you can qualify from the group. You have to set a certain points target, but also at the same time you can't get carried away in Champions League too much. What is good about this situation is that we have 2 matches now before the end of the year in the group. We then have 4 matches in the new year. That 4 matches means we've got enough points to play for next year with 12 points. But for sure, we want to make sure that by then we are in a relatively good position to compete for a qualification spot. And this is the focus. It's just 1 game now away from home, from a technicality perspective. Even for Al Hilal, this is an away fixture too, because they've only had 1 match in the domestic competition in Rwanda against Kigali, where they won 2-0. They also still have to acclimatize and adapt not only to the pitch, but also to the geographic conditions that they have to play in. And for both teams, I think this will be a very difficult game, a typical group stage match of the Champions League. But I think with the good preparation and the experience that we have amongst our players, we've got a very good squad. We've got very good players. Gwendus now, very stable for his national team, a lot of African experience. Abdelawi, the captain, very strong. Gazella, very strong, very experienced in this space. Reda, very experienced in the space, plays for his national team too. So we also have players that have a lot of motivation, not only to represent the club, but to represent Algeria as a nation. And so we, as I said to you, we come here with a lot of humility, but also with a strong and a quiet sense of confidence that we can get a good result.
Coach, yes, you spoke about confidence. Kipre, MC Alger is doing very well in the domestic league, winning 6 games until this point. For you as a player,
7.
7 now. Okay. 7 games now. But that confidence, tell us about the confidence as a team that you have going into this game. The coach talks about humility, but really for you, how do you feel?
Bon, c'est un sentiment de beaucoup de travail et puis d'écouter beaucoup le coach, parce que c'est le coach qui nous donne des consignes et on suit à la lettre. Ça fait plaisir d'enchaîner des victoires en championnat, puis de jouer avec nos fans. En tout cas, ça fait plaisir parce qu'ils nous poussent énormément, ils sont derrière nous. Donc ça fait plaisir de gagner puis de leur donner de la joie.
question? Okay. Last question from me, for the coach. What do you want to see in tomorrow's game from your team?
What I'd like to see is three good teams, not just from our team. We know we have to be very good tomorrow. We have to be good in Champions League. You have to have a good performance to have a chance to win, and we know that. But I hope we have three good teams. I hope we have a good Al Hilal, because that makes for a good match, and I hope that the third team on the pitch is also very, very good. I know we have very experienced referees that will officiate the game. Charles, I'm told, is the Ghanaian referee, and his experience on the continent is very, very, very big, and we've had him already in this competition. And I hope then the three teams can give a good representation of what football stands for on the African continent, and I hope we have three good teams in a very good football match.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Shukran.
Merci beaucoup, Kipre.
Yeah.
That's the end of the press conference. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Shukran. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.